At the beginning of the movie, we see a deserted place with a TV running where a TV host is interviewing a girl. This girl had recently survived a massacre. In fact, a while earlier, a massacre had started in which many people were killed. The one killing everyone was a clown. A crazy clown who would kill anyone without any reason. Not in an ordinary way, but quite brutally. This clown's name was Art the Clown, which we will refer to as Art. Now, the girl survived. But Art taking place belonged to Art because he was also watching everything. So he trips and breaks the TV, after which he prepares to kill people again. For this, he first applies his clown makeup and then picks up his deadly weapons. After the interview, the TV host starts talking to her friend on the phone. She was saying that the girl who came today was very ugly. That was all she had to say. Suddenly, she feels a disturbance behind her. She goes to check, but there was no one there. Then, suddenly, the interviewed girl comes and jams her fingers into the host's eyes, causing her eyes to pop out. Then she disfigures her face and kills her. She did this because since Art the Clown attacked her, she had become completely insane. Now we see two girls who were very good friends. One of the girls is named Tara. She is returning from a party, and the party was a Halloween party, so obviously tonight is Halloween night. Art also comes out on Halloween to hunt one by one. Tara's friend started making fun of him, but in the next moment he disappeared. He now comes to a pizza shop where Art follows them. As soon as he enters, he starts staring at Tara. Tara finds this quite strange, but her friend goes and starts taking pictures with Art. Tara doesn't like this at all. Art takes a ring out of a machine and puts it on Tara, which makes Tara very angry, but her friend really likes it. Now he goes to the restroom and starts making obscene gestures, which annoys the shop owner, who then kicks him out. Meanwhile, Tara needed to go to the restroom, but there was no restroom nearby. Then she saw a building across, from which a guard was coming out. Tara went to him and asked for permission to use the restroom here, but he refused, saying, "I work here, so my job could be at risk." Tara replied, "It's so late. Who would know if you use the restroom?" Saying this, he agreed and let her in. He left her near the restroom and went away. Tara's friend, who was in the car, learns from the news that the pizza shop owner and a worker have died, and the killer is a man who looks like a clown who had also been holding a bag in his hand. Now, understanding this, she realizes that this job is done by the same clown, Art. Just then, Tara arrives in the car and sits down, and when she looks towards Tara to tell her everything, it turns out that it's not Tara but Art. When Tara was returning to the car, she heard a child crying. She went to check, but there was no one there. Then suddenly a woman appears from behind, and upon seeing her, Tara gets scared. The woman was holding a doll, saying it was her son. Actually, this woman was not mentally stable. She was crazy. Now, Tara manages to distract her with conversation and moves forward, where once again she faces Art the Clown, whose hands were covered in blood and he was standing completely calm. But in the next moment, he scares Tara, so she runs away. While running, she hides behind a car. Art comes here to search for her, but when he doesn't find her, he leaves. Tara thinks everything is fine now, so she starts to exit. But then Art attacks her from behind and strikes her multiple times with his machete. Then he was about to choke her to death, but at that moment, Tara's hand gets a sharp object, causing her to fight back and escape. Now the door was closed, which she couldn't open, so she hides here. Then Art comes here too, and he throws something to distract her. And on the other side, she tries to escape again but sees that Art has even locked the main door here. She goes upstairs via the stairs and finds a guard standing ahead. She shouts at him loudly but he doesn't hear because he's engrossed in listening to music at that moment. Upon hearing her voice, Art comes over, grabs her from behind, injects her in the neck and knocks her out. In the next scene, when Tara regains consciousness, she finds herself tied to a chair. Her mouth was also taped. Art is sitting right beside her, and when he sees that Tara has regained consciousness, he begins to intimidate her with his weapons. Then he brings a sickle and removes the front curtain where he had hung Tara's friend upside down. Because when he had sat in the car with her, he had grabbed her then. Now he crosses all limits of cruelty here. He cuts her stomach with the sickle, splitting it into 2 parts. Seeing her friend's terrible condition makes Tara feel sick as well, but then she gathers her courage and makes considerable attempts to. She manages to free herself, launching an attack on Art using his own weapon before escaping. Art begins a relentless search, closely trailing her. However, she ambushes him from behind, continuing to pummel him for an extended period. As Tara shifts the advantage in her favor, Art becomes deceptive, abandoning physical combat in favor of firearms. He wounds her by shooting her leg, then her face, leaving her severely injured and disabled. With his gun out of bullets, he retrieves more ammunition and finds Tara's cell phone, which contains a message from her sister Victoria indicating she has exited the building. Art then impersonates Tara in a message, instructing her to re-enter through the back door. Upon her compliance, he photographs Tara's friend's corpse in a horrific dismembered state, split entirely into 2 parts. Art approaches Tara and fires random shots, ultimately killing her. A deranged woman witnesses the killing and attempts to relay the entire situation to a guard, but he dismisses her claims. As she heads downstairs to call for assistance, Art attacks her with a hammer. "You have no mercy even for children," she tells Art, embracing him as if she were a child, and he acts exactly like a real child. Now, Victoria also comes inside and calls Tara. When the bell rings from inside, she goes to check there. Upon entering, she regains consciousness because she sees Tara's friend's mutilated corpse. At that moment, she hears a girl's voice. Victoria realizes that it's Tara. That's why when she goes to check, she downstairs. So, mistaking her for Tara, she approaches her, but at that moment her gaze shifts to the mad woman there. She was also quite injured because 8 had slashed her chest and head, leaving her in bad shape. Her condition was about to be fatal. Now the question arises, the mad woman is right here, so who is this lying in front of Victoria with her head down? Only then do we realize it's none other than 8, who had been lying here disguised as a woman to trap her in his web. He also attacks her, but Victoria manages to save her life somehow and escapes from here. She goes upstairs and hides in a cupboard. Then 8 arrives, having already known that she had hidden in the cupboard. But before he can do anything with Victoria, he hears the sound of a horn and leaves to check it. Actually, it was the guard's companion who came out to enter. He removes the carpet and finds the keys lying there. Then he opens the door and enters. There he sees blood stains, which were obviously quite strange. But before he could understand anything, 8 comes from behind and strikes his head with a pointed object. Then he cuts his throat and separates him. Victoria tries to leave from here, but it's of no use. She sees 8 in front of her who was riding a child's bicycle. But the next moment he disappears and the bicycle falls there. She tries to escape from here while protecting herself. But 8 comes from behind and attacks her. He was about to strangle her with a shaver, but she survives. Then she picks up a pointed object and hits 8's leg and runs away from here. She goes straight. Meanwhile, he sees that Victoria is in very bad condition. He now takes her towards the emergency room. Just then, 8 comes again and attacks the guard. He first kills him with a cylinder and then crushes his face with his foot. Now, in a state of panic, Victoria tries to break the lock with an iron pipe that 8 had placed here. The lock breaks, but it was of no use because 8 had come very close to her, and then he grabs her and starts killing her. But then Victoria inserts something into his eye and escapes from here. She runs into the garage, but 8 also reaches here. However, because there was a lock here, he couldn't come in. By this time, the police had also arrived here. But before Victoria could reach the police, 8 breaks into the garage by breaking the door with the car. Now, because she had collided with the car, she falls unconscious to the ground. Then, as long as the police arrive here, 8 was gnawing on Victoria's face. Now the police tell 8 to surrender and to drop his weapons, but he, holding a gun in his mouth, shoots himself. Now the police find out that Victoria is not dead but is still alive, just badly injured. After that, all the bodies are taken to the hospital, and when the doctor sees 8's body, he finds it quite strange because he was smiling even after death. Just then there is a power outage and 8 gets up and grabs the doctor by the neck because he was not dead but alive. This means that now he will continue his killing spree from this hospital. After some time passes, we see Victoria, who finally managed to escape being 8's victim. Tomorrow she has to go for an interview, and later we see her face, which looks quite horrifying, which was exactly as the interview girl had looked. Now the mystery is revealed that Victoria is actually that girl who was giving the interview in the beginning. Because in reality, up to now, all the people who tried to kill him had died. It remains unclear whether he can be killed or not. It might be possible to kill him. So now to find out, we move forward where we see 8 in that same hospital when he had grabbed the doctor. He kills the doctor, severely injuring him, and continuously chases him. The doctor was covered in blood and crawled out and called the police. But the poor guy was unable to speak because 8 had struck his neck. To hurt him more, he removes his eyes and first plays with him and then replaces them with his own broken eye.